Additional amendments? Additional amendments to the agenda, Ashley? Yes. Additional amendments, Amy? ARC? Okay. Additional, Sabrina?
I moved to strike, suit from the funding and, USAC. They're on here for money.
Okay. Any additional amendments? And I move to table, the CS committee fund appointment for this evening for the following documents. Okay, any additional amendments to the agenda? Seeing none, can I entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended? Ashley?
I move to approve the agenda as amended.
Second? Second by Zoe. All those in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All those opposed? None abstaining. The agenda has been approved as amended. Now we'll go ahead and approve minutes from the previous council meeting, October 11th. So can I entertain a motion to approve the minutes? Ashley?
I move to approve the minutes from October 11th, 2016.
Okay, second? There is a second by Ariel. All those in favor, please raise your hand. I recommend, if you weren't at the previous council meeting, that you might want to abstain. That'd be proper decorum, I believe, since you weren't at the meeting. Okay, so all those in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All those opposed? And all those abstaining? 1, 2. The 8-0-2 vote. The minutes from the previous council meeting have been approved. Now we'll go ahead and move to public comment, beginning with audio only. So, if someone wants to. What's that? Thank you, Sabrina. Okay, so audio only. Turn around the room once. Audio. Are you? Yes.
Okay, so hi, I'm Shicky from Calvert, and I just wanted to update you guys with what we've done this week. So last week on Thursday, we had a press conference. We had 6 different news outlets come in and cover that press conference. We got an article in the Daily Bruin. So check that out for more info. It was really cool. And that was around trying to save the backbend in the state of California. The next thing that I want to talk about is on Thursday also, we had an event called Exercise Your Right to Vote. We had 2 of our members dressed up as Hillary and Trump and go in Broome Plaza and flag down people to try to get them to vote. So that was pretty cool. Also, we're halting all of our other campaigns, so our textbook campaign and our Big Band campaign this week, so we can focus on registering as many students as we can as possible. So all of Calvert's man and woman power will be going towards registering voters, and we hope we can do the best job that we possibly can to register as many people as we can. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Additional public comment, audio only. Seeing none, let's go ahead and switch to audio and visual. Okay, seeing none, we will close public comment. Now, we have no special presentations. This is tabled, and we move right to appointments. We have 2 appointments for this evening. They're the consent items. So, whenever Sabrina is ready, we'll review this is for the Committee on Disabilities. Yes.
Okay, the USAC Committee on Disability is comprised of like students, both grad and undergrad, staff, alumni, and members of the USAC community. Their mission statement is to analyze and identify problems, propose solutions, and make recommendations on matters of particular concern to persons with disabilities.
Thank you, Sabrina. And now we have 2 nominees for this committee that I put forward. Was there any ARC entry for this?
No, not for this consent.
Okay, so then we'll go ahead and we'll move right into the nominees. Our first one is Haley Gamboa, and this is a consent item, so we had a chance for the resumes were sent out for you to look over. So unless there are any objections to this appointment, seeing none, Haley has been approved by consent to the Committee on Disabilities. Now, our second nominee to this committee is Isabel Bach. You also have the resume to review that. Was there any objection from the council? Seeing none, Isabel has been approved by consent to the Committee on Disabilities. Thank you, council. And that concludes our appointments for this evening. Now we'll go right into officer and member reports. Beginning with mine. Okay, so first off, welcome back. I'm happy to be back after missing my first council meeting all year. Thank you, Sabrina, for righting the ship while I was gone. Appreciate that. So I'll just go ahead and talk about what I worked on this past week. So first off, last week I sat down with Steve Sun of the Westwood Community Council to talk about really pushing forward how we can revitalize Westwood, make it serve students greater, to sort of, is really connected in the Westwood community, to talk about different things like how we can get more entertainment in the community, that the stores are student friendly, that we're really engaging with different ways to bring, because we have about 40,000 students strong at UCLA, and I think there really needs to strike a balance between serving the affluent community that surrounds UCLA as well as our student population. And right now, I think we're in an imbalance. So really thinking about different ways that we can have more community service in Westwood, more events like live music, things which is not existent anymore. So different ways that we can really make students feel like that they want to be in this community, and in turn, I think that will increase our voice in the decision making. So look forward to things to come. Additionally, and I know Sabrina also did, but we both at different times spoke with Kevin about different ways that USAC can perform its funding. And I know Sabrina will have a lot more to say on that, but I was really excited to be part of the conversation and supporting IDP in making, seeing how we can consolidate funding for that, dream of universal funding or whatever it looks like. In addition to that, I know you'll have internship, a lot of offices have internships going on. So we're really excited to have our first internship meeting. We have, I think, 25 or 30 interns in our class, so really excited to see all these new students to USAC who want to get involved. In addition to that, I know I saw a few council members on Thursday night, and I want to thank you for those of you who support on social media were able to attend the undocumented community event. I think that was really important for us as student leaders, students who felt like that they were uncomfortable and unsafe on, about, their status as undocumented or ally of undocumented students, and to really be there and show that, we support and that we want to be allies or strive to be allies for these folks. So thank you, and I think that we ought to continue to think about different ways as a council we can support, this community, especially in light of this event. Additionally, last Friday, we convened the next meeting of the ad hoc committee that you council approved over the summer, the ad hoc committee on referenda funds, to go over the language for the referenda that were passed last spring. There was a lot of new funds and new sources of revenue that were going to different places. So we had a conversation about that, really trying to narrow down how, some of the vagueness in the language of the referenda, wellness, SJR, and whatnot, to see, how we can make sure that these funds are getting to students as quickly as possible. In addition to that, I had a phone call yesterday with the Office of City Attorney of Los Angeles, Mike Fewer. They're having a panel on November 3rd, which I'm going to be a part of as a student, to talk about gun violence, and that's something that is a great conversation. And as I get more information, I'll share that with you, because it'd be great to engage with, the city attorney, law enforcement officials, and whatnot. And lastly, I just got to council a little late because myself and Rafi were at the CPO banquet, which is over in the Alumni Center on campus. We were able to just briefly speak at the beginning for how we're really looking forward to a strong and thoughtful relationship between USAC, CPO, and how we can support the incredible work they do on behalf of underserved students, and Rafi, of course, got to make his club about voter registration, which is always important. And that concludes my member report. Any questions? Okay, thank you. I'll move on to the internal vice president.
All right, so there's a few events coming up for IVP this quarter and later quarters, but I want to highlight a couple that we'd love to co-program with Rockets on. The first, we've mentioned before, is Final Study Hall. That's going to be Friday of week 10 of this quarter, so if anyone is interested in part of that, I know Christina and Dave have talked about that with any, Ashley as well. If any other offices are willing to just, I don't know, bring supplies or even just be part of it and help, kind of set up the space, etc., or have like, Christina wants to do kind of like a little like meditation spot, not meditation, but mental well-being spot, etc. So if you want to put, like, add something to the final study hall, please let me know. The second is week 8, we're having Pong with Police in Broome Plaza. So it's just kind of a goofy event. We're playing water pong with different police officers in Broome Plaza. Just kind of a weird event to get people interested in talking to people because there isn't such a positive relationship between mostly students of color specifically and the police, especially UCPD. And so we want to kind of bring about more of a conversation to lead to more a talk of why that relationship is not very positive. So hopefully this kind of leads to people just making that connection, having a face-to-face interaction to kind of create more of an open atmosphere for conversation. And that's kind of the hope of this event. But if anyone wants to help with that, we're basically just going to be setting up tables, having fun with it. That's about it. But if you want to come help table and just hang out, it'd be really nice. And then, for funding reform, Kevin and I met to have a nice little chat. But we will probably be talking to your offices, especially once Johnny, the BRD, gets back from studying abroad, just to kind of go over different guidelines. And although we already approved the new guidelines for all the different funding providers in USAC, we want to try big picture, long term, create ways to make more of a streamlined process, universal type of application. That's the ideal. So we'll definitely be kind of keeping in contact with all the offices once John's back, especially. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Now on to the external vice president.
Oh, I have a question.
Oh, I apologize. Zach.
The final study next during week 10, what time does that typically go?
So they want us out by midnight usually, so it's usually from like 5 p.m. to midnight. And it's happened the past 2 quarters now, so spring and winter of last year, and it's really the same thing. We just basically set up a ton of tables and chairs. What's easiest for them, so it's just kind of a simple event, is they're set up like it is for like a final, so it's like all the rows of tables and chairs. But one thing we're just going to add is we're going to try to get them to have extension cords along the floor so people can actually stay and study. That's the one kind of drawback we've been having. Yeah.
Alright, one thing I would reach out to you separately, I think is going to be cool to hear is, so since CSC has vans and vehicles that we use, maybe to, like, for, if it's like extra people studying, to have our drivers, is that something that ASUC offers?
Yeah, so this is an active, right?
Yeah.
So during the finals week, we have,
Right.
I believe starting Wednesday, week 10, there is, we actually are a partner with CSC for the 24-hour study that we have open at for our study those days. And then CSC offers our security guards the van and we shuttle students home.
Oh, okay.
Starting, I think, usually it's like midnight-ish, and then all the way till like 6:30, 7:00.
Oh, okay, perfect, yeah, well, something that maybe on the night where they have extra, we can work on getting more drivers and volunteers from CSC, so people can drive home, I think would be cool to this game, so.
Awesome. Oh, yeah. I love that. Awesome.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, the external vice president.
Hi everyone, I'm very excited to announce that after 4 weeks of heavy campaigning, General Representative Zoe Gordon has finally registered to vote today.
I'm in Massachusetts, and I decided to re-register in California so that I can support them.
Thank you for supporting.
I'm registered.
More importantly, the voter registration deadline closes in 6 days. We've been having an incredible campaign, and I know you've heard so much about it. Today, we registered over 500 people out in Broome Plaza and online. James has sent out his email today with a link to friendsvote.com. Thank you so much to everyone who's been there supporting us. Thank you to Amber and the kids Cecilia in his office because she knows that we get this today. Yesterday was the 37th birthday of the Department of Education, and today, National Average Student Loan Debt topped $30,000 for the first time ever. So, please register. Thank you.
Any questions? Okay, move on to the Academic Affairs Commission.
Just some quick updates. So, the funding application, the guidelines that were approved a couple weeks ago, it went live on the AAC website as well as through social media. So you can now access the travel grant application, see all the guidelines on our web pages. So please spread the word. It's a great kind of application that we offer to students and funds that are, hopefully going to be used. Obviously, if there was a common funding now, that would be something that would be even better. But for now, we're going to go ahead and work with what we got. So I'm super excited to kind of give students the opportunity to apply for that. Her story is also back up and running. ABC has co-programmed with IVP to kind of make that involvement into the Women Empowerment Campaign. More info on that coming later, and you'll probably be seeing some updates across social media regarding her story. Stress Free Day is actually next Tuesday, October 25th, in Bruin Plaza from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. My Director of Academic Wellness emailed out IVP, SWC, and TSR, and I believe all of your offices are able to come out and table. Yeah, so that's exciting. We will be having puppies as well as your common stress-free materials, blue books, scantrons, and anything your offices would like to bring to kind of uplift the environment for students. That would be great. Networking at noon is November 15th in Kirkhoff Grand Salon. We're currently working on getting some recruiters from some tech firms as well as some speakers to come out and kind of talk to students about some networking tips as well as professional skills. And just right before council meeting, I had the chance to go to Major Blast, which is an event that's hosted for mostly undergraduate students in their first and second years to get them introduced to, UCLA and its resources, whether that be, the office of Academic Affairs Commission or even the Career Center, different departments of their majors. So that was a great opportunity. And that's it for me.
Thank you. Now we'll move on to the Student Wellness Commission.
Okay, so today I was able to meet with Chris Sanchez from the BRC to talk about the stress study class, which will be happening and for those who can plan some of the events for that week. Besides that, there has been some talk about introducing free menstrual products on the Hill as well. And tomorrow I will be attending the first Drug-Free Schools Committee meeting of the year. And then besides that, SWC is doing a lot of programming this week, some of it being Active Minds hosting our therapists tomorrow on the Hill, BCC is hosting the Sexual Assault in the Muslim Communities event tomorrow with also the News Magazine, and excuse me, I think that's Thursday. No, that's tomorrow. And then Saudi Image Task Force is hosting a Q&A and movie screening that's free of The Illusionist, and they will be Q&A with the director. And then Sex Birds is having a panel called My Sexual Debut, which is sort of talk about first times and destigmatize that. And then this Friday, Active Minds on Meyerhoff Park is hosting sort of like a display for suicide awareness to visualize the number of victims of suicide of college students every year, and it's called Sense Silence Back. That'll be from 9 to 5 on Friday, excuse me. And that's it. Do you have any questions?
Okay. Thank you, Christina. And now we'll move on to the Facilities Commissioner.
All right, 4 things. The first one has to do with the ballot compositions that you mentioned. I talked to Dr. Geller, was that last week or 2 weeks ago? And she shared with me the new UCOP policy on campus-based student fees, and that includes ballot compositions. So we have to abide by these new rules, but it's not in our election code yet. One key new rule is that each line item needs to be a separate ballot proposition, right? So there's no getting it all under one thing and having 10 line items under one line like that. So that's no longer allowed. And so we just have to put that into the election code, and that's what CRC would have to work on. Second, my director of policy attended the Student Labor Organizing Conference with Harshan over there, and they organized a workshop, and movement is still very much underway. We're gathering testimonies, we're collecting data, and we look forward to more progress there. Next, I attended a Basic Needs Leadership Conference last week as the lead organizer of UCSA's Sustain Our Students campaign. And lastly, we are still working on restructuring the CSO van service. We are collecting data. We are offering UCLA transportation, student testimonies, and reoccurring things that we've been seeing. And we are meeting again with them next week.
Okay, any questions for the Facilities Commissioner? Seeing none, I'll move on to the General Representative.
Alright, so this week we're recruiting for the office, but we just need like a few more staff members, and we looked at the application last week after not really advertising it, and we got 75 applications. It's ridiculous. So I think everyone that you guys rejected, just apply for it. And then the second thing that this week I'm doing is focusing on meeting with the URC board members. Next week we have a meeting with Unita Montero to establish a permanent spiritual space on campus. So besides just the one meditation room that we have on the top floor of Ackerman, we're moving forward to try to establish a permanent space or a permanent programming person to be in charge of interfaith or no-faith activities on campus. But just creating dialogue on campus. And then third, Gen 2, in conjunction with OCOC and Bruins Vote, is hosting their first major event of the year on November 8th, which is an election night watch party. We have food, yes, food for 600 people. And so I'm really excited for that, and I really hope that each and every one of your guys' offices can come out.
Thank you. Now our administrative representatives, beginning with Dr. Geller.
Everything is going well this weekend for terms. I am in leadership.
Okay. Now move on to Rob. Good. Okay, Patty?
Sure. Just a quick thing, we had our walkthroughs of all the offices last week, and we had one to you along the way. Just want to say, the majority of offices are looking really great, and even our security advisor in our maintenance crew that was walking through with us, director, was really impressed with how much better a lot of offices are looking. So that's good. I did email some offices for a few adjustments that we're working to get made to just make sure they're compliant with all our regulations. So just keep an eye out for that. And probably going to be doing another walkthrough in a few weeks, a couple weeks from now, just to follow up with those offices that needed some work to be done. And I submitted all the maintenance requests for, the mounting of shelves and that's for you. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you. And Roy?
I think if I could invite you all to, if you have time, or your office staffs have time to participate in our annual ASUCLA pumpkin carving contest. All you gotta do is let us know.
Yes.
And we will give you a pumpkin. And then on, pumpkin day,
Yes. Oh, yes. Thank you
if
for
you
reminding me.
bring your pumpkin down, a lot of our, departments will do it. You may have seen our pumpkins before. It's a nice way to sort of celebrate, on a level, you set it all up by the credit union there. And there's two prizes, so your office can win, kind of a, it's a pizza party or something. And then there's a second prize. So it's fun, and if you don't have time to enter, certainly come by and look at our pumpkins.
Okay.
Yes.
What are they do? They bring them down like 10 a.m. on Halloween, and we have them displayed, and we have voting. Thank you so much for reminding me. I was so it's super fun, but it's more fun with the more pumpkins. And staff are getting busier and busier around this time of year, so the more pumpkin carving we have, the better. And our staff gets really creative, so it's not even just carving, you can paint it, you can use it in display, pretty much the sky's the limit on what you can do. We've had some incredible winners.
Okay, we just asked.
Yeah, just ask. Yeah, so if you're interested, email me. If you can email me tonight, I'm going to let my coworker know so he can purchase a pumpkin for your office. So we supply the pumpkin and then pick them up from my office.
in Clark Way?
You
Usually,
could probably pick them on Friday or
yeah, usually Thursday.
Thursday, Friday, they'll be ready. So if you're wanting to park them over the weekend and bring them 10 a.m. Monday, then we try to have them up till at least about 4, and you can reclaim them. But so that everybody gets a shot to have a.
There you go, thank you. That concludes our administrative representatives, and we'll move to funding allocations for this evening, beginning with contingency.
Okay, 11 student organizations applied, they would $6,296. They requested for $4,729 and 60 cents. FICOM recommends $2,110.
Okay, can I entertain a motion? Wait, were there any USAC offices?
There was no USAC.
Okay, Zach,
I move to approve the contingency programming allocation for $2,110.
can I have a second? Rafi, all those in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11. Wait,
I'm in one of the student groups that applied at Jack's
When did you see your application?
Residence Acapella. Are we in there?
I do not see you here.
Okay, then I'll just vote.
okay, let's do a revote then. Okay, all those in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All those opposed? And all those abstaining? This contingency allocation has been approved. Move on to, did you see the comment? I thought I said, sorry. We'll move on to EDB Bruin Defenders. So,
Yes, we have one allocation request, from the Responsible Endowments Coalition for a conference. Also for the investment, $500.
okay, are there, is that the only one we have? Okay, so seeing no objections, we'll go ahead and approve that by consent. Okay? Thank you. And I believe we have no other funding allocations this evening? No? Okay, so we have no old business, so now we'll move into new business. Sabrina?
Okay, so, seems nobody is really free at the same time for a different meeting date and or time, on the week of November the 8th. So, an idea would be to not have any appointments then and try to get any funding the week before, the week after, and just have a meeting as a committee of the whole with the majority of us to come. Because there's meetings where 9 people have to come, but unfortunately, there's no meeting where we'll have quorum.
They asked, I know we did this before over the summer, but if there are funding, can we just do a vote, a paper vote, like over email? That'd be acceptable.
And if it's a social-
Is that, because I believe if I recall, we've done something like that before.
We have, for contingency, we have voted via paper vote or email, usually it's over winter break. Is that time period where we're not here for the time out the allocation would be. But obviously we would prefer to do it,
Yeah.
I will offer that there has been a recent procedure used that seemed like the best in class if we were to choose to do it. It's never ideal. But this methodology sort of had to do with a certain point it raised through email, following the same procedure. So can I, have a motion at a certain point, then the floor, so to speak, the virtual floor is open to discussion, trying to mimic the basic procedure rather than just saying yes or no, to open it to trying to get as close to a interactive mechanism that allows discussion after. I mean, there's a way that I think would be the best waiting right along that. I mean, I think this is a new area that I think we're all trying to explore more. I think just, putting, our head in the sand as technology evolves, sometimes we need to find ways to evolve where we can.
If I could add, it's always far from ideal to take action when there isn't a meeting, because there isn't the opportunity for people to come and public comment who may have something they want to say. I would suggest, if the decision is to go that route for funding, that you only put forth events happening before the following meeting. So if things have come in early, they be held and come to the next week when you're able to go in person vote. And certainly, anything that comes in time for the prior week should get in there so that you're really cutting back on how many. Before you reach that conclusion, I'm wondering if there is any chance you could make a quorum for an earlier abbreviated meeting on election day, seeing how his results don't actually come out until 8 o'clock. If maybe even 6 o'clock, 6:30, if you were able to get just enough for the purpose of doing your petitions, but had no officer reviews, had no appointments or other business, you might be able to get quorum and then go off to all of the groups.
Can I say raise your hand so fast, if anyone can come Thursday 6 to 7, or Tuesday 6 to 7? Can. I know you can't. Still not 10.
How long would this meeting take if we just?
I mean, the only issue really is Tuesday. Well, the only issue, so right now, we have 9 people available to come to the 7 to 9 Thursday time, which it would only really be less than an hour because we don't have quorum.
What's their name? On that second time?
Done it twice.
I'm on it twice.
I don't know, you did too.
Sorry, I'm just checking because I didn't know. Sorry. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, no, but.
No, yeah, so we have 9 saying that they can come, unfortunately, it's not quorum.
I couldn't make it on.
Yeah, you got it, or 6 to 7 on
Yeah.
Tuesday. I still, it doesn't seem like there's 10 people available. The only drawback from having a committee as a whole meeting, or even just going to special next week, is that there's contingency or funding of events that are happening before that Tuesday of the next week.
Sorry.
Wait, I'm sorry, is this Tuesday 6 to 7?
Yeah, so we're saying, what if we do the Tuesday 6 to 7 abbreviated meeting, no officer reports, stuff like that? We'll make sure we have appointments the week before, the week after. So just really be going through funding and any announcements that need to happen.
What's the time slot that has 9 and you need 10 people? You just.
Thursday, 7 to 9.
Oh, okay, my apologies, I don't think I filled this out, I think it's buried in my inbox. So, I can make that, I can do
Okay.
that and do that.
9 to 10. You can make it?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Oh,
Great job, everyone.
My apologies.
All right.
It's all my fault.
Okay. Everyone, put in your calendar, Thursday, the 10th, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. We're having rescheduled meetings. We will still keep it short because it is different times. So, for example, if you didn't have any appointments or if there's any funding that could be put forward the week before or the week after, please do it then because we do want to keep this a short one. November 10th, Thursday 7 to 9. If you're one of the people that put, does anyone want me to read off who said they can be there? They don't remember what they put.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I'm reading. Okay, so Divya said you could be there. Jordan, you said you could be there. Danny, Christina, Ashley, Rue, Rafi, Zoe. And then we have Kevin and everyone, but for the council members, that and myself and Zach.
I could be there too, sorry, I didn't see it.
And we're following. All right, we got 11. Awesome. Just love it.
So the one that's
Yeah. So, okay, we need to negotiate. Yeah.
So, there is a.
Because the room is booked for
scheduling-
all.
Yeah, so the room is booked, we kind of block up those times for the funding hearings for, the COG will be in their second round of funding hearings, so we'll just have to talk with the DOD director that they have to move this hearing for that.
I have my weekly meeting from 6 to 7 on Thursdays, you guys can use that room, or this room for that one.
The
From
6 to 7 was not as popular of a time,
Okay, just one.
but thank you. There's just like 4 people that can't make the 6 to 7 chunks.
Yeah, so I think that we'll be able to, do you want to reach out to Stephanie about that? To get
Yes.
that room, is on it.
Okay, then, is there any further discussions to be done for members of council? Okay, then can I entertain a motion to change the council meeting that week from, November 8th?
I move to change the November 8th, 7 to 9 p.m. meeting to Thursday, November 10th, 7 to 9 p.m.
Second by Ruth. All those in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All those opposed? And all those abstaining. The council meeting has been moved on that week. That concludes our new business. So now we'll move into announcements and we'll adjourn. So any announcements?
Quick report, a couple of announcements. I had a vice chancellor in the room of student affairs. We talked about space and specifically the housing shortage that transfer from non-traditional students are through. So we're doing research on how UCLA can invest in property outside of the Western area, make sure that non-traditional students are able to find affordable, subsidized housing. And then we also are having a transfer town hall in November. I'll get back to you on the date. And then the transfer center opens the third week of winter quarter, and Sandtown coolers and pencils are outside of 313.
Okay, thank you, Div. Any additional announcements? George?
Yeah, so one event that just got confirmed that you should all go to is, we have a Disney writer and director and designer, Jeremy Bush, coming on October 28th. He was one of the big character designers of Moana, and so he's going to come and talk about the history. He also has some exclusive footage that's never been seen before of the movie, so you should totally come to that. Reservations are going to be open in next week, so just look out for that.
What time is it then?
It's going to be it's Friday at 8 p.m.
8 p.m.?
Yeah, in Kirkland as well. And I can't say who it is yet because it's not confirmed yet, but I think we don't have the contract signed, but we have a concert on November 3rd for Positive Shock and that's going to be at noon. And we also have a concert on election day in AGB. And what we're trying to do is we're trying to get the election results to be streamed on the screens so people can go and dance and then the results come out and we get a crier. But yeah, so that's cool. We have artists ready for that, so we'll see that.
Okay, thank you. Any additional announcements? Christina?
The Ash Center is offering free food shots, so if you'd like, you can make an appointment, or there'll be food fairs next, I don't remember what days exactly, but it's 24th and 25th, and that's from 9 to 5, just right outside the Ash Center.
Ashley?
I'm sure you guys are aware of this week's homecoming week. We have a lot of spirited events going on. Sorry for all the cover photo changes. But there's also food trucks happening tonight on Land Fair. There's a grilled cheese truck. I believe, yes, that's definitely something you don't want to miss. Tomorrow there's a sing-off in Kirkland and Salon. Thursday is the homecoming bash, which we bus basically 1,000 birds out to a club in LA. Friday is the football team send-off and also the Brad Paisley concert, which CTO is giving away free tickets. So you definitely don't want to miss that. That's going to be exciting things to do. And Saturday is the homecoming football game. So make sure to come out to these events and show your support to the football team, UCLA students, as well as alumni.
Oh, and I have one more announcement. This weekend, if you're not aware, it's Parents Weekend for UCLA, so we're going to be welcoming, I think, a few thousand Bruin parents. It's really a family weekend, excuse me. So it's going to be really exciting. So if you want to engage with your folks, then we'll welcome them this weekend. Okay. Any additional announcements?
Just out of curiosity, is anyone here watching Americans? So, we're working on an event with that, and it is almost confirmed, but like, I just want to see the interest. Yes, I get it, alright, then.
Yes.
Keep November open, all of November just connections.
Oh, yeah.
But we may have a very, very exciting, after.
Okay, any last call for announcements? Okay, seeing none, we will conclude with our signing of the attendance sheet, and I can entertain a motion to adjourn council at 7:43. Ashley?
I move to adjourn council at 7:43.
Second by Sabrina, all those in favor, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, all those opposed, none those abstaining, council has been adjourned at 7:43. Now we will conclude with, yeah.